in the gate, ready for the start of the Classic. And they're off! To the cheers of the crowd and guided tour breaks alertly with Orientate. Albert the Great is gun to the lead. That's Albert the Great. Ore Chavez puts him in front, but Pat Day and Orientate are going to take the fight to him, and those two hook up in a speed duel in the first furlong here. Tis Now not far behind. He's running third in the early going. Guided Tour drops back to run along in fourth. Galileo only 5 lengths from the lead. He's fifth. The arc winner Saki is sixth on the outside, and the favorite Aptitude is now running in seventh. Macho Uno bulls his way through from eighth now. Black Middlebush is ninth. Include is down toward the inside, and he's now 10th. Freedom Crest, Gander, who's well in hand, and at the back of the pack is Long Shot Up Late Stancer. The quarter went in 23 1/5 seconds, a grueling pace here, and into the wind half of 47 seconds flat. Albert the Great grinding it out on a short lead now. Orientate couldn't stay with them. There goes Guided Tour, who splits horses decisively with 5 furlongs to go. And on the outside, the daunting presence of a horse of the year. Tis Now, and he's right there just off the pace fourth. Saki and Galileo right there and behind the lead. Macho Uno's in the thick of it as Aptitude begins to roll here with 3.5 furlongs to go in the Classic, and it is Albert the Great blazing the way. Tis Now looms in second. Saki is there on the outside. Guided Tour fights on. Galileo's under a heavy drive. He's still 6 lengths behind. Include will put his run through on the rail. Aptitude is taken wide by Gander, and the field turns for home. Here comes the arc winner, Saki, and he storms to the lead. Saki in their lead, and Tis Now is battling on, the American Horse of the Year, and the arc winner are heads apart with a furlong to go in the Classic. On the outside, Saki, Tis Now fights on. Here's the wire, desperately close. Tis Now wins it for America.
The death about that. We're excited to be here. We feel we're winners just to be here in this company, in this competition. And we hope for a good outcome for us. We know we're again against all the champions, and we hope we come out on top. And I'm not going to be not surprised if we win it.
And you've done a great job with him, Norm Miller. Thanks, Norm. Charlesy?
Thank you, Mike. Well, certainly Bonaparte will be part of the pace scenario, and so will this horse, number 1, Thunderello. He's got sharp early speed, and he's got that inside post position, so you can count on him being a big part of what are surely going to be some very fast fractions. He's owned by Charles Maddie, a corporate lawyer whose father used to own harness horses. And here's Kalukan Queen. She's named for her owner's hometown in the Philippines, and she has dethroned the boys twice already this year. The 6-year-old mare is stablemate to Kona Gold, and they'll both be coming from off the pace and closing late. Next in line is the aptly named Disturbing the Peace. He is owned by, in part actually, by NYPD Blues creator David Milch and his wife Rita. He's won 6 straight, but none of those races were quite this tough, but they were confident enough to supplement him for $90,000. Here's a 3-year-old filly, Carson Hollow. She's virtually unbeaten. Her only losing race was a head bob in the tightest photo finish you'd ever want to see. And now she meets males and older horses for the first time. It'll be tough for her. Here's Touchtone, Iowa Derby winner. He won, he ran Point Given to a half a length in the Haskell last year, and now he shortens up for the sprint, and that's the same route that was taken by the Victoria's Gulch in 1988. Ran long as a 3-year-old and then shortened up as an older horse. Here's Extra Heat, a little bitty filly with the great big heart. She just wins and wins. $5,000 bargain. She's won over $2 million, 24, 31 starts, and she only lost last year's sprint by a half a length. She's got lots of early speed too, and she can shake them off. There's no quit in her. Wake at Noon is next in line. He's expected to be named Canada's champion sprinter. His trainer, Abraham Catrian, is a native of Guyana who originally studied fashion design, but no wins for this one outside his native Canada. Here's Bonaparte. We just talked about him. He was a $6,500 yearling who has now earned over $1 million for twin brothers James and Dennis Richard. 10% of that goes to the Children's Hospital in New Orleans, and he just seems to keep getting better as he gets older. Speaking of older, here's Kona Gold, the 8-year-old veteran who becomes, as we've mentioned, the first horse ever to make 5 starts in the Breeders' Cup. And the pace scenario really sets up well for him to come from off the pace and make him the first horse ever to repeat in the sprint. And here is Orientate. He is the 136th horse Wayne Lukas has run in a Breeders' Cup race. He's tried him all kinds of races, short, long, turf, dirt, but found that sprinting is his forte, and he's unbeaten at 6 or 6.5 furlongs. Here's Crafty CT, another horse who chased Point Given last year over a distance of ground. But now he's finding his best stride sprinting, and he was second to Point Given in the Santa Anita Derby. That's how good he was going along, but he seems to be better sprinting. Got an unfortunate post position, number 11. And outside of him is Swept Overboard, the Met Mile winner. He's owned by Paul Redham, who is a founder of Ditech.com. And he was trained by Craig DeLassy, who is the youngest ever to win a Breeders' Cup with re-race. Seems to need his last race, though, after a long layoff. He should be sharper today. And last but not least is Day Trader, starter 137 for Lukas. 3-year-old Chase the filly Extra Heat to no avail in the Phoenix, and he gets a bad post for a horse with speed. Owner Overbrook Farm has won 3 Breeders' Cup races. And that is the field for the sprint. Now we'll go to...
And the final horse to move into line, Day Trader in post 13, ready for the 2002 Breeders' Cup Sprint. And they're off. Day Trader broke on top on the far outside. Orientate gets off to a good start too. Extra Heat is right there. Long shot. Thunderbello down toward the inside. And there's Carson Hollow. And Carson Hollow has come away to lead this speedy field with Thunderbello right there with their Extra Heat is third. And Orientate gets a good spot early. He's running in fourth. Day Trader on the far outside fifth. Crafty CT is racing sixth. And then it's Touchstone between horses seventh. Kalukan Queen is eighth toward the inside. 3 lengths Disturbing the Peace under a ride is now ninth. Then Bonaparte. Kona Gold way near the back. He's 12 lengths from front running Thunderbella. And Swept Overboard has only 1 horse beaten. That is Long Shot Wake and Noon. A wild first quarter of 21 2/5 seconds. And it's Thunderbella at 35 to 1, turning for home with the lead. On the outside, here comes the favorite Orientate, and he's driving to Thunderbella, who's holding on. Thunderbella, 1 furlong to go. Still there, 3/4 of a length. Orientate full out, driving second. Kona Gold, Crafty CT. They're chasing Thunderbella. Orientate is surging here beneath Jerry Bailey. Here's the wire. Orientate wins in the final strides to defeat Thunderbella, Craft Gold, and Kalukan Queen. At the top of the stretch, Jerry Bailey had a 35 to 1 shot to beat with the favorite, and he got the job done. The final time was 1:08.4. Orientate was kept in good striking position.
Wayne Lukas, and here's how he did it. Thunderello, the long shot who had broken for number 1 post, had controlled all the fractions and drugged them along, but Orientate had stalked, moved to him at the head of the stretch, and gamely got up in the last few strides. No end to the good racing here today at Arlington.
Official order of finish, Kenny Rice has Orientate again. Bob and Beverly Lewis and D. Wayne Lukas winning the sprint today. The big long shot, Thunderello, making up a huge exacta here at Arlington Park. Big loser Swept Overboard, no finish there. Bonaparte was certainly not involved as well. Let's go to Mike with the presentation.